friends, I'm Erin Mack and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my February wrap-up and my March TBR. How are y'all? I'm good. It's a little gloomy today in LA. I've been sleepy, so this is like my fourth coffee today, so this should be fun. Also, I'm sorry that my space buns are crooked, but you know, just trying to live my life. And you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't know. What am I saying? Let's talk about books. Go ahead and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000, so help a girl out. Okay, let's start. What I read in February. I actually stayed, let's move that back. I actually stuck to my February TBR for the most part. I didn't get to The Blade So Black, but I read everything else. Yeah, so I'll just go through and give you my thoughts. Spoiler alert, I really liked all of them, so let's start with Children of Virtue and Vengeance. Yeah, so this is a sequel to Children of Blood and Bone. I really liked the first one. I liked this one. It just seemed like there wasn't a clear path for the plot, and maybe that was trying to signify how war can be messy and like solving prejudices can be really messy, which I appreciate the symbolism, but the characters, I feel like they just kept switching motivations. But all of that being said, overall I really did enjoy this book and I will read the third one. I still really liked it. I'm not going to rate any of these because I don't like rating systems. Just know that I liked it. Yeah. The next book that I read was a historical romance called An Extraordinary Union. This was actually my first historical romance that I've ever read, and I really enjoyed it. It's about a former enslaved woman who turns spy for the Union Army, all during the Civil War. Yeah, she falls for a fellow spy and, you know, shenanigans ensue, as they always do. I enjoyed this. It wasn't my favorite, but for my first historical romance, I really liked it. The reason why it wasn't my favorite, how they handled assault. In real life, sexual assault is a huge issue, but I don't necessarily want that in my romance novels. I feel like that can be really triggering, and to put that with something that you're supposed to be like all feeling romantic feelings with doesn't really sit well with me, and I didn't like how they handled it in the book. Why? Really, siren? We shall wait for the sirens to go away. You see this a lot with fantasy romances, and I guess with historical romances now. Well, I can't really say that, I've only read one, but you see it a lot with fantasy romances, and I don't like it. I ask romance authors to just not put assault in their romances anymore. If I got past that, it is a good book. I did enjoy the plot and the chemistry between the two characters. They're cute. Now, to get to my favorite read of this month, and probably one of my favorite books now, Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I love this book so much. And if you like contemporary romances, if you like steam, if you like good books, read this book. Read it, read it, read it, read it. It's so good. It's so good. Do you ever have a book that makes you feel more like yourself? And I'm sorry if that sounds weird, but that's what happened with this book. Oh my gosh. It's one of my favorites. Oh yeah, I should probably tell you about the book instead of just gushing about how much I loved it. A traumatic thing happened in Chloe Brown's life, and she realized, oh, my life's kind of boring, so she decides to get a life. You have the enemies to lovers trope. You also have great representation. There's just so much depth to this book. The dialogue is not cheesy because not a lot, but some contemporary romances can have cheesy dialogue, and this does not have that, and it's just so well written. It's so good. It's so good, y'all. And I'm gonna read you some quotes because I was that person and wrote down quotes as they like tugged at my heartstrings. Basic facts being acknowledged should not make your chest all tingly and light. And I really liked this quote as well. This was what became of liking men. Rampant idiocy. One more and we'll move on. This was so cute. So I'm doing it for you because that's how people should behave. They should fill in each other's gaps. so cute. Okay, there's a dog barking now. We're just having some sound issues, so sorry if you can hear that. Okay, so obviously I really love this book. And book 4 that I read this month was the companion to this, Take a Hint, Dani Brown. That was also really, really cute. And this month, I'm reading the 3rd one, which comes out March 9th, I believe. I probably have promoted this book like 3 different times on my channel. I'm so excited, if you couldn't tell. And those are the books that I read in February. Yeah, I really liked all of them, but Chloe Brown was my absolute favorite. Like, it is now at the top of my favorite. So that was my February wrap up. Let's move on to my March TBR. So this is, as always, a loose, we'll see if I get to read it, but I think I have, oh, I'm missing a book. Hold on, that one. I had the majority of books in physical form this month, so I'm trying to read what I have, and then I have 1 library book. And I'm definitely gonna buy Act Your Age, Evie Brown, when it comes out. I mean, honestly, the one that I might not stick to is this one. I'm just not super excited. I don't know if you can see it. I'm pointing to Blood and Honey. Not super excited about it. Let's get to my TBR. First one, Court of Silver Flames. So this is a part of the Court of Thorns and Roses series, and this is focusing on Nessa and Cassian. That's about all I know. I think they have to go on some journey. Nesta. Oops. Obviously, I know a lot. I think the main focus is trying to get Nesta out of her trauma. And Nesta and Cassian maybe fall in love. I don't know if they fall in love, but it is steamy. This is adult fantasy. I know the Court of Thorns and Roses series is sometimes advertised as a young adult novel, which in my opinion, it's not. It's new adult or adult fantasy. And this is definitely adult fantasy. Just a heads up. Okay, let's put that big book down. My next one is the Kiss Quotient. This is contemporary romance, and we have Asian Asperger's representation in this one. I hear it's really steamy. People on Bookstagram have told me to be prepared. So I'm ready. This girl who has Asperger's, she doesn't have a lot of experience in the dating department, and so she hires an escort to help her practice, and as I like to say, shenanigans ensue. I'm really excited to read this. I've heard every time I post about it on my Instagram, people are like, I loved it, so I'm pumped. What's next? I'm gonna try my hand again at a historical romance, and I've checked out My Darling Duke from the library. Here, let me read to you what it's about. To avoid financial ruin, Kitty reinvents herself and creates a fiance. The fiance just happens to be real, and when he learns he is engaged, he's curious. And from what I can guess, they probably fall in love. I honestly, this popped up on my from my holds, and so I don't remember how this was recommended to me, who recommended it to me, or why I wanted to read it, but it sounded good. It was probably after Bridgerton. That's probably what happened. And then the next one, because after I have read 3 books, it'll probably be March 9th. I mean, that's only a couple days. So the next one is going to be Act Your Age, Eve Brown. I can never say it the right way. And that has another enemies to lovers trope, and you know that's my favorite, so I'm super excited about that one. And then the last one will be Blood and Honey. This is the sequel to Serpent and Dove. I bought this for my birthday, and that was in November, so it's taken me a while to get to this one. And I don't really remember what it's supposed to be about. I feel like I also need to read a synopsis of Serpent and Dove before I get back into this, because I don't remember a lot of what happened in that book either. Did you like this book? Have you read it? Did you like it? Comment below. Oh wow, it's a dove on fire, but no blood or honey. Yeah, I was really excited about it when I first bought it, but now that it's sat on my shelf for a little bit, I'm not really sure why. Hopefully I'll get to it and be pleasantly surprised. I think that's 5 books. I usually only read 1 book a week because I'm trying to have fun with reading instead of making it feel like a chore and like push myself to just read more so I have like a bigger number at the end. I just want to enjoy reading. So that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I think that's it. Have y'all read any of these books? Comment below what you think I should be reading first, or should I skip any of these books? I'm mainly talking about Blood and Honey on that one. I'm sorry if you really love it. Tell me if you really love it, and maybe I'll be more excited to read it then. If you made it this far, make sure to subscribe. We're trying to reach 1,000. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!